The main goal of this album is to give confidence to these type of people who get treated like shit in the environment that they're not supposed to be in. Fuck you, we're gonna make money and we're gonna succeed.
Acting like they knew me. Yeah, they wonder, oh shit, but I came back with the new me.
For me, 2020 has obviously it's been a crazy year for everybody. People in Beirut specifically has been completely crazy because of the economical crisis and in the explosion. And I live really close to that. And especially for me as an artist, who always talks about social issues or who always is like conscious of what's going on in my environment, at some point I'm just like, is this all I can look forward to as an artist? Is having crazy tragedies around me so I can make beautiful art to reflect on the tragedy? Warner was like one of our partners in the scene. At that point, I was managing Synaptik. I knew that he had the best opportunity to get the record deal. But you know, with time, he moved to Palestine. I was in Lebanon. There was a separation. So I stopped managing him. And then, you know, but I still maintained communication with Warner because we worked on Scum Week. We were just talking a lot, man. And then they kept on asking me, well, what are you doing with your music? Are you doing any music? Are you doing any music? So I was like, yeah, I'm working on this album called Mamluk. And I kept showing them stuff.
Salsa with the devil, offer when the nigga, save the last dance.
And that was when the realization of kind of like, man, I need something real. Fuck it, man. You know, I want to go a step ahead. I still have my resources and I know where I am as an individual in the scene, that I can really achieve a lot on my own with a small budget. But the gravity of Warner to get more talent to work with you, that's something else. At the end of 2019, I was just on this roll of writing, man. Subconsciously, I was talking about Mamluks quite a lot. You know, I just started finding it out, you know, like as a reference to being disenfranchised or being in an environment that I'm not supposed to be in. By the time I had 6-7 songs, I still had so much more ideas in my head. So I was like, yo, this is gonna be a big album.
Victory's mine, but they call me Abid. They fear my design, so they push my buttons. They like to hate me. It's cool cause I love
These slave warriors, you know, pre-14th to 16th century in the Arab world were taken out of their environments and put into the Arab world. And then slowly but surely they raised in ranks until they took over, you know, Greater Egypt and Syria. And I saw that as a metaphor big time, because I'm like, I'm from, you know, Syria. I have this understanding of a greater Syria that that involves, you know, Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Palestine, and Iraq, you know. And but I'm also disenfranchised from this community because of who I am. Not being appreciated for the work that I do because I'm perceived as Western.
I paid extra to make sure she's Filipina. The man at the agency, he says Ethiopia is 200, Filipina is 500. I say only the best for my nephew, Habibi Enta.
Being Filipino in Lebanon poses also a certain type of problem because of his history and because of his inferiority and superiority complex towards other nations. There's this undertone of racism that excludes you from a lot of things that happens in Lebanon. So I can't really separate that from who I am as a person.
I don't want to say, you don't want to know places that it came from, you don't want to go.
Mamluks is not just, you know, someone like me in Lebanon or in the Middle East, but it's also Arabs in the Western world trying to do the same thing as Asians and Africans in the Middle East. You know, so it's this multi-layered understanding of how we try to survive in this hyper-capitalist world. So sometimes I would just grab a beat and just write like loads. Like I'm talking like 60 bars of different type stuff and just continuously free flow of ideas. And then I just toss that in a like a vault for like months and months, you know? And I have a lot of those kind of like long verses.
فريق سو فريق شريك بلا تصميم بلا بطيخ بلا كراكيب هيك ربيت حب الكل we still have the will ما فينا نفل.
Hey Funi, I had the chorus in my head melodically for like months on end, you know, and then I would bring the producer and I would be like, this is what I got in my head.
Mhm.
Let's try to get it out the way I want it from. I just write, and then sooner or later, if it's stored in the vault and it's lived good enough in the vaults, you know, and I'm happy with it, sooner or later it's gonna make like an album or a song. You never know which stuff you're gonna use at the end. The producers I work with on this album, I think, are one of the best. I'm really happy that like I get to showcase these lesser known producers. And hopefully, you know, they get the recognition they want, you know, they deserve.
Yeah, they want the old shit, but I came back with the new, man.